So capturing. I've said it a bunch already, but let's dive into it. Capturing is a training technique where you reward behaviors that your dog does naturally without being cued. You do not use your voice to prompt behaviors or to cue behaviors. You just use your eyes to look for and reinforce behaviors that you want to see more of. And that's so important because a lot of times traditionally we think, oh, you have to, your dog should only get a treat if you ask them to do something. Well, quite the contrary, if you ask me. If they choose to make a good choice, heck yeah, I'm going to reinforce that. That means they're going to make that choice in the future without me having to ask for it. It is a mindset shift. I will tell you, our culture tells us to look for when our dogs screw up and to punish them. But this is a completely opposite from that. This is where you are seeking out and rewarding and reinforcing good choices your dog makes. You're having an eye for good behavior. You are looking for stuff that they do right. And you're saying, hey, I loved that. Thank you. Good job. Let's see more of that. And guess what? Remember those behavior bank accounts? If you fill the ones you like so much with reinforcement, the stuff you don't like, if you're not reinforcing that, there's nothing being deposited into that bank account. Naturally, that stuff is going to go down. So we're going to go into a few real life examples. We're going to talk about the behaviors that happen, the consequences that happen, and we're going to predict. Are we going to see more of this or are we going to see less of this? Let's get started. So your dog is standing with 4 paws on the floor. Great behavior. I put a little green box around it because we really like that. And you ignore them. For whatever reason, you're not paying attention to them in that moment. And so what do we think is going to happen to 4 paws on the floor? Nothing good is happening. You're probably going to see a decrease in the behavior of standing politely because nothing good is happening for your dog when they do that. So a dog jumps up on the person and the human touches them and talks to them. Remember, I'm just saying the human is talking and touching to them. It doesn't matter what the human is saying. The human could be saying off, Fluffy down, bad dog, don't do that, Fluffy. Doesn't matter what you're saying. It's still a good consequence for the dog. You are likely to see an increase in the behavior of jumping. And I put a red arrow because we don't like the increase in that behavior. So your dog has 4 paws on the floor. You make sure to give them tons of attention. Maybe you're giving them some treats for having those 4 paws on the floor standing really nicely. What do we think is going to happen? We're hopefully probably going to see an increase in the behavior of standing politely. So again, super real life example, very common and important to work through and realize. So a lot of times, like what happens is you're walking in the door and maybe you're busy and your dog is walking really nicely and they're being so polite and you're like, I'm too busy for you. And so the dog's like, well, this isn't working. So then they jump on you and then you pay attention to them, of course, because they become an inconvenience. But we've missed the opportunity to capture and reinforce some pretty nice behavior. So it's all about looking for what you like.